Alright, well, we're replacing the power steering gearbox. As you can see, it's been leaking for a while. Just working 6 days a week, didn't really have time to do it. And it's the first time I've ever done it, so I didn't want to get stuck midway and not be able to make it to work. So, yep, here we go. Alright, well, here's a new one. Well, remanufactured, and they're not cheap. It's $300 and then a $100 core charge, so $300 for remanufactured. And surprisingly, it's heavier than I thought it was, or would be. Well, so let's get started. It's right here. So let's get started by pulling off this tire. Alright, let's I'm gonna start here, pull this off, pull off this pitman arm. I didn't have something to pull this off, and you can rent them or whatnot. So I just made one. Actually fits on here pretty good. Bang bang, screw that up, should pull that down. But yeah, you know, hey, it'll work. Alright, well, since I don't have a tripod, I gotta just hold my camera here, or my phone, whatever. So all I did is I used a hammer a little bit to knock on it, and then it started to loosen. Alright, well, this puller I made isn't working as well as I was hoping it would. But, I mean, this metal isn't very strong. These are just rack ears for audio equipment that I welded together. So anyways, you can see it's bowing. But what it's doing is it is actually pulling on here pretty hard. So I'm tapping it with a hammer and making some headway. Well, I was hoping that was going to work, but nope. So I had to go rent this. $10. Probably could have made one, but I need it done today. Well, I made some headway, but I'm going to try taking this nut off and bringing the whole pitman arm down straight. See if that helps. Alright, all I did was pull the pin out of here and loosen this nut so I had some room to play. I don't know, I'm not a mechanic, so I didn't know if that had anything to do with it. But if you see, we're off. And I think there's enough playing here, you don't need to do that, but whatever. It's still on there, not disconnected. All I need to do is tighten it back up, put the pin in. Alright, now I'll move on to the next steps. So we gotta loosen this bolt here, take off the column there, or linkage, and then 2 hoses here. Pull out the 4 bolts. Let's do it. Okay, these 4 bolts here, they are a 19 mil. This little one here is a 12 mil, and then the only wrench I had that was big enough to fit is a 15/16. So I really don't know what it is metric, but all right. So it's a 19 mil nut and bolt. FYI, 3/4 works the same. I didn't have 2 19s. Alright, so we're fully disconnected. It's just sitting here, holding itself up. This was hung up a little bit, so I just kind of had to tap on it with a hammer. Just slightly tapping on it, and it came loose. So there we go. Let's pull this out and put the new one in. Also, I wanted to say my wheels were straight, so I'm not going to be turning the wheel at any point right now, and the flat groove is pretty much on the top, so I think that's how the new one is. I'll double check before I put it in. All right, tighten these down. Squeeze that on a little bit more. Pop that nut out, pop that cap out, put those in. All right, well, we got everything where it needs to go. All bolts in and everything. Now I'm just gonna tighten everything down. All right, so there we are. We're all back together. Everything's tight. Got the pin back in there, linkage back on. Now let's fill it up. All right, well, we're all back together. Everything seems to be working just fine. And bled the system. There we go.